Hello guys, it is Conte here, playing through Sonic Riders, and again, we're going to the shop. So I'm gonna look at some of the cheaper gear around. You'll notice I don't have many rings, so I'm gonna look at some of the a lot cheaper gear. Even though I think that even though these gear are considerably cheaper, they are better. So it looks like I can try a couple more gear, but I guess I'll save these for another episode. I have enough here where I can cover them in another episode.
Yeah. I got through,
So let's get in the process of checking out those new gear. So you'll notice that the first one I looked at was the heavy bike. Now, this is definitely one of the better gear around, and I'll get to why in a minute. So notice how this gear already has it already has a boosting speed that's slightly faster than usual, but when I get down to speed, if I can find a good place, I'll show you. Yeah, but notice the really good top speed. If I can get back up to speed, you'll notice that the maximum speed is 203 speed, so that's really fast. So, the one downside of this gear is that it can't ride on turbulence. Like, you noticed that in the previous, that when I was behind people, I couldn't pick up that turbulence. I can show it again. I'll probably just wait for Nice to pass me out. Yeah. Notice how this gear doesn't go anywhere with the turbulence. So, yeah. That's the one but that's not really a big disadvantage when you're ahead of everybody. So, this gear, even though it's not the best gear for time attacks, it is one of the better gear. But I think there are places where you shouldn't use it, like with Babylon Garden, because that has a turbulence section and you have to go on it and there's no two ways around it. So I don't think this gear would work there. And there you have it. Why did I try to restart that? So actually, I'm gonna see, you know how I said the Babylon Garden course wouldn't be good for the heavy bike? Well, actually, wait a second, let me see something. I'm just kinda goofing around a little, since it gives me the option to use the heavy bike on Babylon Garden. I'm gonna see what happens when I do. So, up ahead is a more concerning part, because once you get far enough forward, there's a path. But, well, actually, now that I think about it, you think that the heavy bike, being heavy, it can't ride turbulence, but so I thought it might not be able to ride the turbulence from that was required, but I guess I can. So I guess this gear is good. I guess this gear you can use this gear on any course, which is good because this gear is better than usual for time attacks. So I'm just gonna play along through and see how quickly I can get through. Darn it. Huh. See? Yeah. I guess that part really tripped me up. So this is where the high speed comes in, because if you can't boost, it's good to have a really good speed. And that's what this gear has. You know what, for whatever reason, I cannot boost on that turn. Like, I can't boost and make that turn, it's just... Yeah, I guess I do need to be more careful about that. Oh darn, I'm lagging out. So, anyway, I'm gonna try another course for variety, and I'm going to check out the Advantage S. This is a speed-exclusive gear, so only speed-type characters can use it, so you have people like Sonic, Shadow, Jet, people of that nature. So if you looked at the stats, you'll notice the speed was really enhanced. So you'll notice that the Advantage S2 has, I think it's the same speed as the heavy bike because it's 188.2 without even having to level up. So that's also pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens when I level up to level 3. The speed doesn't change when you level up to level 2, but this bodes pretty well. I'll see if I can just go straight on this turn. Seems like I think the maximum speed is a bit above 200. Unfortunately, I can't really tell. So, yeah, actually, never mind. I think the speed is exactly 200. But that's still pretty good. It may not be quite as good as the heavy bike, but it is really nice speed. So there are other gear of that nature that you can use, but they're for like fly and power type gear. Like if you do it with Tails, you have the advantage F, which has better, really good acceleration. So I'm gonna see that at the beginning of the race. So instead of trying to get a good start, I'm gonna mess up on purpose, and then see how fast Tails accelerates, which is actually pretty fast. The trouble is that this gear's handling on rough terrain isn't very good. If I can get on a piece of rough terrain, I'll show you how terrible it is. Its maximum speed isn't really that good either. All it is 140 speed, which is 10 down from what Tails can normally do. So, notice how Tails loses a lot of speed on there. He gets down to 80 speed, I think. Well, I missed. So yeah, that's the maximum speed for you, which isn't really saying much. So actually this gear doesn't seem like this gear is really that good. I mean, some of it you can make up for because you boost so much, but the low speed is the low speed makes it a more iffy gear. So anyway, with Knuckles and other power-type characters, you have the advantage P, which has amazing power, but you know what? In order to test that, I'm gonna need a good place that has rough terrain, so I'm gonna pick Metal City.
All the racers are totally focused on
before I do this, I'm gonna get a quick look at Knuckles' maximum speed, which is 155. That's actually average for these guys, and the power is 120, so meaning that this gear doesn't lose a lot of speed when you go on rough terrain. So, Knuckles' maximum speed is the same as with this gear as with other gear. Well, other standard gear, that is, and it looks like... the speed he gets to when he goes on rough terrain is pretty far above standard. But even so, I think this gear is still an average gear because it's not, as far as speed is concerned, because the speed is the same and there's not really a boosting advantage. Now you may be wondering, like, what gear is my favorite for time attacks, and the answer would be the high booster because it's got really good boosting speed that really helps you save time a lot. So anyway, in addition to the advantage gear, there's other gear as well. Well, excuse me while I go pick a nice course. There's other gear like it called... There's the cover series, like the speed type characters have the cover S. Now with the cover series, instead of enhancing your character's specialty trait, it covers the rest of them. Like, if I get up to speed, you'll notice that the speed is the same as... that Sonic's maximum speed is the same as normal. But theoretically, like, if I could find a place with rough terrain or a place to accelerate, then that's where the gear's advantage would come in. Because this gear has 4-star acceleration and power, and 3-star cornering. The trouble is, I can't really find a place with rough terrain, even though the ground isn't really that. Maybe this will provide a good place. Okay, never mind. So... this gear is... the thing is, the cover series is made to be pretty balanced, so... even though it is balanced, I mean, I can't really speak for speed characters because they already have the key advantage that this gear make cover, which is speed, and the cover S doesn't change the speed character's speed. So, again, this character's traits would be better for speed characters if you make a mistake. Like, if you messed up at the start, or if you, or if you kept bumping into walls, or if you went on rough terrain, because the power and acceleration are enhanced. Also better for turning, too. Yeah. So this is a case where it would help. So next I'll... So next we'll go to this place, then try the cover F with Tails. You'll notice how it has better power and better speed. So I'll see what that looks like. Acceleration we don't really need to see because it's not enhanced. But actually, after looking at this gear's speed, it should theoretically, since it was 5 stars, it should be faster than the cover S. So, I'll see if I can find... The straightaway's coming up, so I'll be able to check out the maximum speed. If you give me a minute, that is. So, the speed is 160, that's 10 speed above what Tails normally gets, so that is better. Definitely better. If I get a good place, I'll also see how this thing goes off terrain. But this isn't exactly a good place to do that. But there is a good place up ahead because there's a big patch of grass right here. So it seems like its maximum speed is 85. It seems like the power is 85 speed, so it's... Honestly, so that's not too far... That's not too far from the normal. But the speed is a little bit, but the speed is a bit better. So, and see what the maximum speed you can get with Tails is. Once I can find a good straightaway, that is. So the maximum speed is 175. That's above average for Tails. So yeah, this gear is actually one of the better ones to try if you have a fly type character. So, looks like I'm going to try one last gear, and that gear would be the power type gear, which is the cover P. So it looks like the specs are the same. It looks like the specs are the same as with the cover S. But the thing is that that's actually not bad, because that means that Knuckles has a faster speed. So, the maximum speed is 160, but that's not bad, but that is a little bit better than what Knuckles usually has. Not much, it's like only up by 5 speed, but still. So I'm basically just really just gonna play this turn and finish up. So basically, in conclusion, this gear is a little bit better, not too much, but still. Just a tad better. By like 5 speed, whatever unit they use for speed. It's not really clear. It's not really clear what unit they use for speed, because they don't have anything like kilometers per hour, meters per second, but oh, that's actually good to hear. And track record, so yeah, that's the cover P for you, and I think that's all the gear I bought in the shop. So thanks guys for watching, and I hope to see you later.